Good morning, welcome to Peace Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I paint things on the internet. That's what I do. Yeah, I do other stuff too, I guess. I garden and I take care of my kids. And, that's life. I'm retired, I guess. Sorta. I hate it. I don't like being retired. So I decided to do this. And so we, give me something to do. And to paint miniatures. I'm selling to people when they want to buy them. And, so that's not bad. It's not a bad little thing to do. It's kind of fun. I get to talk to you folks, which is cool because most of you folks are really nice. And yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoy the show. Today we're working on some Wraiths, some Borrow Wraiths, Borrow or Borrow, whichever way you pronounce that. Borrows are it was a mound. It was like a hill tomb, and the old legends were that they were the ghosts of the people buried there, and they were not happy about the things that happened in their life, and so they rised up and sometimes created by sorcery or whatever, but most time it was just somebody who was not happy in the way they passed on, which kind of like a lot of ghost stories, I guess, are like that. So it's pretty much ghosts, but these are the ones. Wraiths come from a very specific place. They have them. If you read Lord of the Rings, it's not in the movies, but in the books, the hobbits, on their way out of the Shire, encounter some Borrow Wraiths and are saved by a character named Tom Bombadil. So here's a little Lord of the Rings fun for today. Happy belated 4th for anybody who celebrates May the 4th. I know that is a big deal for some folks, so salute. When I was younger, I was a big Star Wars fan. I'm still a pretty big Star Wars guy. Although I don't keep up on all the shows and stuff anymore. I just don't have time for all of it. I watched a little bit of Mandalorian. It was good. It was fun. I liked Rogue One, and I thought a couple of those other ones were pretty fun. Solo wasn't that bad. A lot of people really didn't like it. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I probably wouldn't like. It wasn't one of those things that really made. It wasn't. I thought that Rogue One was better. I thought Rogue One was a better side piece. But it would have been kind of fun to have a little bit more Han Solo stories. It could have been something, but unfortunately, whenever you do something like that, people get all weird. Oh, that palette's old. We need to change that out. Change out that paper. Get another sponge, baby. It's always good to change these out from time to time. My ball of destruction. I don't know where it is. Probably buried. So I've been slowly accumulating. For those of you who don't watch this channel regularly, which is most people, but maybe not most people who are actually watching. Holy shit. I don't know where the hell I just threw that thing. And I just cursed like... There I go, cursing in the first 10 minutes. That'll get me in trouble. Not that it matters. I'm not monetized or anything, so it doesn't make any difference. I just think it's fun to say. Anyway, so like I was saying before, I threw this thing all the way up underneath my desk. I've been accumulating paint on this ball for a while now. It's it's like a weird little obsession, I guess. Eventually, I think I want to cut it open and then like put it. I don't know. I want to cut like a disc out of it and then build like a portal or something. You know, so it looks like you're gonna step through a portal into another world, or another dimension or something like that. You know, swirled colors. Anyway, I've been working on that thing for several years. One of these days, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do this thing I keep saying I'm gonna do with it, but it's not quite big enough for, you know, characters to walk through it yet. So we gotta keep going. It may take another 5 or 6 years. Who knows? You know, fix that too. It's good to change those out every now. They change these out every now and again. They'll start growing mold and stuff. So change them out, let them dry out, and then start again. You know, I have 3 or 4 of them. So, and if you're not familiar with how wet palettes work, they're pretty easy. You literally just get them wet, and we'll put some parchment on top of this. And you can buy the specialized parchment that goes for your little deal, or you can buy a roll of parchment at the grocery store, and you can cut your own. I'm almost through the ones that came with this when I bought it. So once I get there, I will probably go to cutting my own. The price, I was a chef, so I actually have parchment here. I have like giant sheets of parchment. Hey, hello, Sir McBeardsly. How are you today, sir? So probably have like giant parchment. Anyway, while that, I'll probably just start cutting my own. Just because as a chef, I have that stuff available. It just makes more sense. Well, we'll leave that kind of up here, so you guys can kind of watch it slowly go. It's kind of fun. We're gonna take a look at these guys. I'll save him from last because he's the coolest. We're gonna go with Steady Eddie. He's the standard guy, right? This is the standard, right? It's fun. He's got a little lantern, got a little swoosh. I like his setup. It's a great, you know, really nice. Could have gotten a little better on our golden ratio. So like honestly, you want something right here, just as a for like official art stuff. If you're talking like the way it's designed. So, but when you go through there, you start to see it gets a little bit better. So like from this side, not so much. From this side, we got a lot of stuff going on, so it kind of spins itself out, right? And then this one's got a lot going on. And see, you can see how his ratio is just boom, big. Lots of movement in this one. Really good, really great looks. Even on the front of this one, with all the claw chains going across his chest. It all looks really great. Alright, so we're gonna do a little bit of cleaning first. They're so spindly. I'm so afraid I'm gonna break one of these. It's still fun. I glued his little scythe to this base just to make sure it was two spots of tension for it. There's a couple little things we gotta take care of here. I'm not sure what that is. Something from the print process. Probably just a little bit of dried uncured resin or something like that when it got in the cleaner. And then the exposer, it lots of that stuff there. So yeah, they've got little faces. It's gonna be really cool to see what those faces look like. There's like a notch in a couple of these lamps. Some of these lamps are a little bit beat up looking, which is great. I don't know if that was on purpose or just print. But just want to make sure there's nothing kind of like it's gonna pop loose in a couple little places. And any of these little, this little burr here is from a support. Actually, it's not part of the model. The sculpt itself, there's a couple of them here. But overall, they did a pretty good job hiding them. That's one of the things about 3D prints, is that there's a support that has to get on them so that it can print out. And people who do a really good job with the print and building the supports in can put the supports in places that makes it where you don't really see it as much. So we got 3 different ones, which is neat. 3 at once is always kind of a fun deal. And these will be simple to paint. You're going to be really shocked how easy these things are to paint, because we're going to make them like ethereal. So we're literally going to prime them, paint them white, and then it's from there it's more like adding, you know, just like inks and stuff to it in washes. So you did a fun thing this weekend. Wine and paint. Yeah, that's fun. Those are neat. Those are neat. Wine and paints are neat. I should really learn how to do some 3D sculpting. And start making my own minis and stuff. That would be cool. So blow me up. A while for it to soak all that water up, so sometimes you can speed it up by doing just the issue machine. Plus it's fun to play in the water. Who doesn't like playing in the water? If you don't like playing in the water anymore, there's something wrong with you. You definitely need to chill out, because you're totally being too serious. Play in the water a little bit. It's alright. You don't get carried away, but you do a little play in the water. Ugh. About time to clean that palette. That thing's looking pretty rough. But today is not that day. What was the paint? What did you guys paint at the paint and take? Sir McBeardsly. Just out of curiosity. Again, this is an airbrush primer I'm putting on here. I'm being real. Dark Sea Sunset. Alright, use acrylics. That's what I use. Sweet. What was the brand on the acrylics? Oh, sweet. Pull them up in a second. And we can see some of Sir McBeardsly's paintings instead of just mine, which is fun. We need to set up like I need to set up like a way people can send stuff and we can show it off. That would be neat. Because so there's tons of great painters out there, but not everybody's okay with getting on the internet and talking. I get that. Like I can talk to you. I talk to myself sometimes, so I figure as long as I don't answer back, I'm doing okay, right? That's how that works. Please say yes. But yeah, I'm used to talking, and I'm kind of used to. I've done teaching before, so I'm kind of used to like instructing and telling people kind of what I'm doing and stuff as I'm going. So it kind of helps for what I'm doing, but not everybody's into that. So sometimes it might be neat to be able to have an email you guys can submit things to, guys and gals and ghouls and wrights. All right, there goes Steady Eddie. I'm sure had them filled with very large sauce balls to squeeze. Oh, yeah. So it was probably basics, which is, you know, that's totally fine, especially if you're just learning how to paint. Basics is a good deal. I think that's what Liquitex. I think that's Liquitex makes that, which is not bad. They make a higher end version too, which is it's decent paint. Like I said, I'm switching over to Golden now. I had done Windsor and Newton for a while. I love Windsor and Newtons. I always have, I guess, since I found them. They're not quite as expensive as Golden. And Liquitex, the basics, man, those things are way cheap. I think I have some somewhere. That's what I buy for my kids to use. It's like now that they're past using Crayola, you know, washable, cheap junk. I usually get Liquitex for their projects, so they can, at least for the big stuff. We might use some of my things for little details or color pops, but you know, like they usually have to paint like an entire pumpkin blue or something like that. It's like we're not using my good acrylics on that. We're gonna buy the cheap stuff and we're gonna paint it that way. But it's just like this. You can buy a really expensive primer to prime models with, but like you don't really need to. Priming isn't really that important as far as that goes. You just need something that's efficient and doesn't leave, you know, too much streaks or foliage or anything like that. So you could buy a really expensive one, or you can buy a mid-grade one that does a good job and do it. I usually don't use a brush on, like I usually use around can primers, but I got this and I really enjoyed it. It works great as a brush on, even though it is an airbrush specific primer, because it's so thin. It really does get down in there, which is great. So it almost like works like an aerosol without you having to aerosol it. Unless you're patient. If you're not patient, you probably should be painting miniatures. Really, probably should be doing something a little bit more fun, like a little bit more, and something that's going to get you there a lot faster. Painting is not quick. There's lots of drawing and this and that, so if you get impatient, like, you should definitely try other kinds of art. Do like pour painting or splatter painting or something like that kind of painting. Don't try miniature painting. There's a lot of there's a lot of drawing processes and patience and waiting. It's a lot like cooking. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Heavy attention to detail. Which is probably why I fell in love with cooking. Originally, I was an artist person, which is kind of what's nice about this. Is that I guess I retired to do what I wanted to do in the first place. Because I became a chef because you couldn't make money as an artist. At least that's what I got. That's what everybody told me as I grew up. So I was like, okay, well, I gotta make money somehow. My dad was a chef, so I grew up with him. I grew up chefing and good at cooking. So I was pretty good at it. So I was like, okay, well, let's go do that. So that's how I ended up being a chef. Wasn't my first choice. I probably would have been an artist if I could have been. If I could have just had a choice, I would have done this my whole life. But that's not how life works. Sometimes you have to go do other things to come back to the thing you were meant to do. It's weird how it does that, but that's a thing that happens. Be very careful. I know it probably looks like I'm being super forceful here, but I'm really not. You don't want to pop any of these little fringes off. He's got a lot of little fringes. Alright. Yeah, 20, 24 people at a time. You're going to do a gang of them. Definitely need to go with like a... That's why I was asking, because I was like, that's a lot of people, so like, what were they using? Because it couldn't have been something super expensive. But yeah, it's probably a Liquitex Basics. It's a good one. Unless they got like some really cheap stuff. Did it stink? If it stinks, then it was the cheap shit. It smells like a high school art room. Oh shit. Throw that right on the floor. Really was done with it. Alright, after all that goofing around, I think we're almost done. This one little corner, giving us some time. Giving us a hard team. There we go. Sponges are so wild. That's paint. That's cool. Underground tattoo artist. Granny was a Rolling Stone. I do like setting this up on film every now and again, just so people can see it. I don't do it all the time. A lot of times I have it ready to go before I turn my camera on. But it's Monday, and I worked hard. I worked a lot of hours this weekend for me, and I was pretty tired. Driving around and doing the Uber thing. Oh man, I saw this crazy wreck. This lady, like, go driving down 240, and I don't know, there was one. It could have been a guy, so I don't actually know. I just got a glimpse of them as I rolled past them after this happened. So I'm driving right, and I'm in one lane, and they're in this lane, right, and they're kind of like up here, and I'm back here, right. So they start to drift over, and I'm like, oh, okay. So no blinker, no nothing, very lackadaisical. I'm like, okay. So I start to pull on back, right. Well, then they drift through that lane and into the shoulder. And I'm like, oh no. And then they drift off the shoulder and into the wire divider barrier thing. And it just pulled their car. It's crazy. It's crazy. I might have said this same story on Friday, but it was so crazy I felt like I had to say it again because it was nuts. It was crazy. It was neat. No, it was neat. It was neat. Man, I'm wondering if instead of like pure white, we shouldn't do iridescent. Paint it all in iridescent and then put the wonder. It'll look a little bit more metallic if we did that. Maybe not. Maybe we'll use this as like a highlights for like the chains and stuff. So now this versus like the vampire where we went to have a little bit more of a fleshy color. So we started out darker. This is going to be a little different. We're going to start out real white and then we're going to come back and pull everything out with like a very faint wash kind of thing. Thin paint. I guess we can use this bigger fat daddy. It will make no difference. Alright, so nice and thin, good wet brush. Now white's wild, so remember you're gonna have to do more than one coat, more than likely, to get it to come out right. It's just how white be. It's always thin. The big key is don't let it pool. Keep it moving, keep it moving. Might bubble up on you a little bit, that's okay. Those bubbles should pop on us. It's making those bubbles. You probably have it just right, or maybe just a little too thin. If it's really bubbling, you're probably too thin. A little bit's not a big deal. And make sure you're you're looking for the difference between the bubbles and maybe the grain in your paint. Sometimes the white in pigment in paint is a little grainy. So just kind of look at it, make sure. Now, of course, if you're going to do this, do not prime in black. Gray or white is the way to go. Black, you will be putting white paint on that thing for the rest of your life. That's just how that's going to go. Resist the urge to make things darker again, because like it's a ghost. Remember, so it's white. Normally we would like make the inside of this a dark color somehow, but we don't want to do that. We want to make it white, and then we're going to add our other colors to it later. And again, you could probably prime this guy in white. Probably helpful. But we don't have white, so look great. You'd still probably want to put a layer of regular white paint on it, not just go with the primer. Primer is made up of a different thing. So look, it may not. Just notice I missed the entire part of this thing. painting ghosts three times in the same colors, it gets a little weird. You're gonna miss stuff, so take a look. Slow down, pay attention. I'm saying that to myself as much as I'm saying it to everybody else. Oh, we need to check out. Here's the picture. Oh, here's going. Oh, fun. So here's a couple different people's works. Neat. That one, I assume that one's yours. Because of mine. So, girlfriend, mother, sister. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's fun, man. I like the black on there. Black, blue. Yeah. Fun. That looks cool, man. I like it. I dig it. I can dig it. I guess you could use an ink here if you really wanted to. Inks will definitely find those crevices. You're just kind of designed to do that. But this works good too. And inks are shiny, so if you're, just so you know, if you're going to use an ink, it's going to have a little bit of a shine to it. It's like a semi-gloss, I guess. Be the best way to say it. Do all the metal bits in metal. But we'll see. We're gonna get there. I'll have this chain, these chains and things, which definitely makes it seem like they're forced to stay here. Set up to protect wherever it is they're at, or at least forced to dwell there. For whatever imagined slight they perpetrated against the necromancer, or maybe even a lich. Takes forever, it seems like. It's like you spend 1,000 years painting white on things. We're actually going really fast. Completely introduced the models and soaked the sponge and started a new palette, and we're now on almost to the second round of base coating. Got pretty quick. Should be fast though. A typo. I probably typed it wrong. Did I type it wrong? I did. It should be with an R. It should be a right. I think, or without the R. I think it's the whites. I don't think it's, or maybe there's the same thing and they just spelled that way throughout eternity. I think I typoed though. Yeah, so white is an undead meaning associated with necromancy, corpse, and that's what the actual the thing in D&D is. Yeah, right isn't right, brothers. I wonder if it did that on purpose. It might correct it for me. Oh no, there's an actual right ghost. Hey, that's funny. I think I misspelled that though. Did I misspell that? I'll fix it on the. I did. Ah! Either it got auto-corrected or I misspelled it. Totally my fault. I'll fix it in post. That's embarrassing. See, and this is why I like having them around. You definitely pick up on those things that sometimes just fall through the cracks. Because I totally wouldn't have noticed. I'd just gone on my life. I probably wouldn't have noticed until weeks from now, when I was scrolling through there, or a couple days from now when I was looking to see how the video did. Yeah, it's white. It is. Yeah. But I think wraiths and rights are almost the same. Or wraiths and whites are almost the same thing. And it just says they're. And technically, I guess you could call these wraiths if you wanted to. Damned spirits and ghosts, goblins, creepy call it probably. Totally spelled that wrong. I don't know that I can edit it like right now. I think I have to wait till I'm done. And I can edit it as soon as it's over. I don't think I can run it while it's rolling. I can edit it while it's rolling. Thanks for checking. Thanks for noticing. Appreciate it. Like I said, it could have been days before I noticed it. I'm pretty good with the typos, but not always. Yeah. Draugr. Yeah, the Draugr Wraiths. Yeah. And Skyrim. These might actually be Wraiths. You might. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think they are Wraiths. Because these are ghostly. I think you're right. I think Wraiths have like, where whites have a, or Wiggets. They're like reanimated corpses. So these are actually Wraiths anyway. So we should just change that all the way. I wonder if I can do that right now. I don't know. I don't think you can. I don't think I can change it. Like in the midstream. But I'm not sure. I don't know that my computer can handle me trying to do it at the same time. It might be too much. It might be too much for my computer to handle. This is not a very expensive machine that I have here. It looks like it's already messing it up. Look at that. Yeah, I bought like a really quick, easy thing just to use for the purposes of broadcasting stuff. I didn't get it all tricked out. So trying to run 3 cameras, a microphone, and the internet in this thing maybe is just a little too much. I'll just handle it later. It's not a big deal. It's really not. It really isn't. But I think they are. I think these are Wraiths, not Wrights. Whites. I know. I've always wondered at how you pronounce that name. Because I guess it should be like bright or right or, night. So it should be white. But is it "ite"? Is the W silent? I don't know. W is a weird thing. Like, is it "wit"? Is it "white"? I don't know. But I think these are Wraiths. Though now that we've had this conversation, and I've had a little bit more coffee. They do have this little bit of animated corpse at the top of them, which maybe that's what maybe my brain just short-circuited this morning. Who doesn't actually matter, I suppose. Yeah, like white. They're all white. We should look up what a wraith is, just for funsies. I should have just called them ghosts. Well, that's one way to paint it. But as you can see, you really just want to have multiple layers of white. Which I can definitely do rest of this off cam. What is going on? Stop it. Let's see, a little bit of time. Keep working. Work on getting it. All that surface covered. Yeah, I totally spaced that name. Oops. I'll fix it. It should be Wraiths. I'm almost positive. Now that I'm thinking about it. Feeling a little brain dead. You've got to go until I use up all the paint I got on there, huh? Almost done there. Almost done with all that paint I put on. That's about right. This old junk ass brush. Perfect for this kind of thing. You definitely don't want anything that's gonna like come to a tip. That's not gonna help you. You want something that's like kind of bushy. We can get in there. Oh. Yeah, I think they're Wraiths. I think that's what these are. I don't even remember what it was. The file was. Let's see. See, so a wraith is supposed to be like a thin, ghostly specter, thin, wispy images, malevolent spirits. It's considered a ghost. So like maybe like a bound ghost, because it's like they have the unearthly chains on them. Huh, okay. I think we're going to change it over to Wraith, though. I like the idea of Wraith. Calling it Wraith. It's a better name. Boop-a-doob-doo. Just took a few minutes ago. I got to start wrapping up. Trying to get this last coat done on this third guy. Maybe second coat. They may end up needing a third. Like I said, white's like that. You're definitely not going to get it covered that first time. It's going to take more than one. So you've got to make sure it's thin on both rounds, or else you'll lose all your details. But it's wild. The first coat always ends up all in the cracks. Everything on the top always ends up exposed. So your second coat, you gotta like coming through, and it'll start setting up on the tops. Everything. Finally. Resist the urge to get a thicker paint and jam thicker paint in there. It'll make it look streaky. It's also important to keep your brush strokes moving with the model. Whatever the movement the model has, try to keep your brush strokes kind of going with it, so you don't get exposed that way. There's lots of ways to see that it was definitely painted on, and that is one of them. That is one of the big time. You see the paint brush strokes, the streaks. You can tell. All right, there we go. Still got a few minutes left. Put me down. So anyway, yeah. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope everything comes out peachy, and yeah. Looks like the rain's coming back tomorrow, so enjoy another that dry one. So, and then I guess what is it? The Thunder played tonight, so good luck to the Thunder. I don't really watch basketball, but I'm gonna cheer on those guys. It's my. I live right down the road from there, so highway, not a road. It's like 20 minutes to get to there. Anyway, Oklahoma City is closer to me than any other basketball team. I'm cheer for them. Let's see, yeah. We'll get these guys done this week, and then we're going to move on to something else. I don't know what yet, but I'll find something else for sure. Yeah, next 3 days is going to be raining. Be crazy. So, we'll see. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you later. Oh, be good to somebody. Be good to yourself. Be good to somebody and be good to yourself. All right. We will. Talk to you later now. Bye.